Well, let's turn our attention to healthcare now. A lot of people want to make sure, I mean, we have pretty good healthcare out here in California. A lot of people, especially retirees, are looking to retire somewhere on a fixed income. They want to make sure that they can afford good healthcare and also receive good healthcare. So do they have to go to Little Rock for that, or where do you have, what kind of healthcare do you have there?
No, actually, we have two major hospitals here. We have Conway Regional, which has been around since the 60s, but they're building on it all the time. It's turned really modern. We also have Baptist Healthcare, and they have just built a major hospital here in town. Both have helipads and stuff, and I'll get to that in a minute, but they're state of the art. And we have, of course, we have loads of doctors, loads of specialists, of course, orthodontists, and there's just all over town. And the one thing too is people that live out of town and so forth, say they live 20 miles out of town or whatever, they can buy an insurance policy through a company called Medevac. And Medevac is a helicopter ambulance service. It's $150 a year. So, and it's an insurance policy. If something happens, somebody has a heart attack or whatever, and they're worried about getting into town, they call and the helicopter's dispatched immediately. And both of our hospitals have helipads. Once you get into Little Rock, they've got 6 major hospitals up there. And there's a VA hospital. There's a VA clinic in Conway. And like I say, big VA hospital in Little Rock. And then they have the Heart Hospital, UAMS, which is world renowned. It's a teaching hospital through the University of Arkansas. And like I say, our healthcare is second to none.
That's great. Well, let's turn our attention to business. California is known for being very anti-business, very high tax, very high regulation. Tell me about the business environment in your area of Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, Conway is very, very business friendly. But first of all, our rents and so forth and leases on buildings are just real low. And I have a good friend, Ed Link, and he is the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and they have all kinds of programs welcoming people, incentives, and so forth. The city of Conway gives incentives. And getting back to Ed Link with the Chamber of Commerce, he actually worked at the Chamber of Commerce in Costa Mesa, California, and then Irvine, California. So he relates a lot to California people coming here. But again, the state offers incentives and grants. And then Conway is very business friendly and stuff, and they offer a lot of tax incentives.
And you've got plenty of room for business expansion. I mean, there's land for development, things like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Well, let's turn to the political environment. I mentioned that cost of living is one of the top reasons people want to leave, but the people I've surveyed, it's really the political environment and the government overreach, government regulations, and how even during this current situation in California, we feel like the government's really overreaching as far as what they can tell us what we can do. So let's talk about the political environment in Arkansas, both from a state level and a local level.
Okay, well, Arkansas has become a totally red state. As far as our state legislature and so forth, it is 90% Republican conservatives. Our governor is Republican conservative. Asa Hutchinson, he was a senator in forever, in Washington, D.C. And then we have 4, not 54. I don't know the exact number of you guys of legislatures, congressmen that go to, that are federal also. And all 4 of those are conservative Republican. And then we have 2 senators, both were conservative Republican. We've gone totally red. And one of our senators, Tom Cotton, has become like a real hero in Washington.
He sure has. He's certainly one of mine. And then talk about gun rights. California is pretty big on no guns and making it very hard to obtain guns. So what are gun rights there, and is there good hunting and things like that? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, guns are a major thing here. Of course, with all the hunting, we have 4 seasons a year for deer, and there's whitetail deer everywhere. And 2 of those are modern gun. One is black powder, and then there's a bow season. We have 3 seasons for turkeys, wild turkeys, and there's wild turkeys everywhere. I've never seen a wild turkey before I moved to Arkansas, but like I say, they run everywhere back here. Now, as far as the gun rights go and so forth, I've got a little cheat sheet over here. And licensing of owners, rifles and shotguns, no. Handguns, no. Permit to carry, no for rifles and shotguns, yes for handguns. Permit to purchase, no and no. And registration of firearms, no and no. So it kind of gives you an idea. We are very, very gun friendly here.
Sounds like you support the Second Amendment there.
Very much so. Very much
Great.
so.
And then what about medical freedom? We've got lots of people whose kids are allergic to vaccinations, things like that. What kind of vaccination rights do people have in Arkansas?
Yes, sir. They have on that, the schools require vaccinations, but you can get exemptions. You have to apply for the exemption, and they're what they call religious or philosophical. So you can petition that through the school district, and then it runs all the way up through the state legislature and so forth. And, you know, like I say, so you can petition that if you just don't agree with the vaccinations.
And then how many sanctuary cities do you have in Arkansas, and how much rights do illegal aliens have?
Well, in Arkansas, there are 0 sanctuary cities. They're banned here. So you're not going to, as of now, you're not going to see any sanctuary cities. You know, illegal rights or, you know, illegal alien rights and so forth. That's just, you know, that's just hard to say. That's, you know, I wouldn't know how you'd really answer that particular one.
I can understand that. With someone who probably doesn't have to deal with it very much, it's probably kind of foreign to you.
Exactly. But again, I'm from Southern California, so I know what it's like.
Yeah. And then are you guys, because of the pandemic, are you guys letting a bunch of felons out of jail so that
Nope.
they can come terrorize people?
Doesn't happen. They had, it wasn't really an epidemic or an outbreak or anything, but they had a few at the at Cummins facility, which is the state penitentiary, and they just handled it there. You know, nobody was let out. They haven't let anybody out. So, you know, it's just like I say, they're there.
And what would you say is Arkansas's best kept secret?
Water. There's water everywhere. And it's just, you know, I've sent out the waterfalls and stuff, you know, through the site for quite some time. I think I'm on number 86 that I've sent. The waterfalls are absolutely beautiful. We have rivers, we have lakes, we have streams, you know, and ponds. I mean, there's water and fish everywhere. And it's just absolutely beautiful place.
So do you have lakefront property in lakes you can swim in and things like that?
Yeah, we do. We have them in Northwest Arkansas. We have Hot Springs, Arkansas. We have them here in Conway. You know, outside of Conway, it's just everywhere and stuff. And you can buy lakefront homes anywhere. I mean, lakefront on nice lakes and so forth from, probably, you know, I've seen them for 150,000 up, and they'll go all the way to 2 or 3 million, depending on what you want.
Well, that's great, Rick. I really appreciate you joining me. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I would, but I got to put my hat back on. Okay. I wear my hat all the time. Okay. And it's kind of an icebreaker and stuff because people say, hey man, LA Dodgers, I love it and stuff. But one of the concerns that people have is how will I be accepted when I get to a different place? Arkansas absolutely loves Californians. Believe it or not, it's just nuts because what's happened is so many of them have been out there, you know, either on vacation to visit family or are from there. And so, like I say, you're just widely accepted back here. And so don't let that be a turnoff with one people wondering, well, how am I accepted if they find out I'm from California? It's not a problem.
So you didn't have to change your plates the minute you hit the Arkansas county line or border line?
No, sir, did not.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Rick, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. I'll put your contact information after we finish the video here, but just tell people how they can reach out to you if they want to connect with you right away.
Okay. Yeah, you can catch me at 501-554-0437. That's my cell. You can catch me also at rickketchumrealtor@gmail.com.
Awesome, Rick. Well, it's been a pleasure again. It's nice to see a Californian who's left and is loving life outside of California. And I look forward to hearing about people who are calling you, and thank you for all the help that you've been in the group. And it's been a pleasure.
Great, Terry. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.